That chocolate treat disappeared almost overnight. Number 4 could feed a family for a week on less than $2. And number 18, well, it was banned in 4 states because of what it did to your teeth. By the time we're done, you'll see snacks Americans once craved that vanished without a trace. 25 lost American snacks from the 1950s and why nobody talks about them today. This isn't just a list of candies and cookies. This is a window into a world of survival, of ingenuity, of people scraping together comfort in the harshest of times. Back then, food wasn't just pleasure, it was strategy. A single snack could stretch a meal, calm a hungry child, or give a family something to smile about when money ran out. These snacks tell stories. Stories of neighborhoods, of kitchen experiments, of companies daring to make something wild and sometimes dangerous. And some of these, they aren't just gone, they're almost unbelievable. So stay with me. Number 12, it cost less than $1 but could last months. Number 3, parents warned their kids about it, and for good reason. Number 18, it was sweet, addictive, and yes, illegal in some states. Number 25, the Atomic Peanut Bar. This was the candy kids begged for when school lunch was just bread and milk. A peanut-filled bar coated in caramel, crunchy, sweet, and compact enough to tuck in a pocket. It wasn't just candy, it was a meal extender. One bar could tide a kid over until dinner. Made in Chicago in 1951, it became a local sensation, sold in corner stores where kids would trade baseball cards just to get a bite. And the taste? Imagine caramel cracking against roasted peanuts, sticky and warm. It wasn't just sugar, it was a tiny, portable moment of joy. Number 24, Black Cow Soda Candy. This was the treat people grabbed when sodas were considered a luxury. Small, chewy pieces that tasted like root beer and cream, shaped like little cubes. Cheap to make, long-lasting, and for kids, the closest they'd get to a soda on a weekday. Originating in Ohio, it was sold in glass jars at general stores. Mothers loved it because a single jar lasted for months, and when you bit into it, the fizzy flavor almost made you feel grown up. Number 23, Moon Pie Cookies. This was the meal people made when celebrations were modest but hearts were big. 2 soft cookies with marshmallow filling dipped in chocolate. Portable, inexpensive, and enough to quiet a sweet tooth or fill a small belly. Invented in Tennessee, it was originally for miners and factory workers. A treat that could be carried in lunch pails and eaten hours later without spoiling. It wasn't just dessert, it was a small escape from a hard day. Number 22, Necco wafers. This was not food, this was survival. Thin, chalky discs in pastel colors, easy to store, didn't melt, and could last forever. Sold in shops from Boston to San Francisco, these were candies you could ration in pockets or bags during long trips or harsh winters. Dating back to the 1800s but still popular in the 1950s, these wafers were nostalgia, comfort, and practicality all in one. And when a child popped one into their mouth, it wasn't just sugar, it was a connection to the generations before them. Here's what no one tells you about these snacks. They were more than sugar and flour. They were tiny pieces of hope, moments of pleasure, and sometimes lessons in risk. Some had addictive qualities, some were banned, some simply vanished because tastes changed, but every single one carries a story of ordinary Americans trying to find joy in a changing world.
Number 21, Wax Lips. This was candy, yes, but also theater. A bright red pair of wax lips that kids would wear, make faces, and laugh at themselves. No one ever swallowed the wax. It was for fun, for mischief, for tiny moments of rebellion in a structured, buttoned-up 1950s America. They were cheap, long-lasting, and utterly unforgettable for anyone who dared wear them at school. It wasn't just a gag. It was a small rebellion wrapped in sweetness. Here's what no one tells you about these snacks. They were more than sugar and flour. They were tiny pieces of hope, moments of pleasure, and sometimes lessons in risk. Some had addictive qualities. Some were banned. Some simply vanished because tastes changed. But every single one carries a story of ordinary Americans trying to find joy in a changing world.
Number 20, candy cigarettes. This was strategy disguised as play. White sugar sticks with a thin paper wrapper designed to look like real cigarettes. Cheap, accessible, and controversial. Parents worried, but kids loved them. By the mid-1950s, they were everywhere. Corner stores, pinball parlors, and soda fountains. For a child, it was power and play in one tiny sugar stick. Number 19, Clark's Tea Berry Gum. This was the snack people chewed when they wanted something more than just sweetness. Minty, pink, long-lasting, and wrapped individually. Popular in the Northeast, it could freshen a mouth, fill a small hunger gap, and offer a quiet comfort during long walks or bus rides. And the flavor, subtle, gentle, nostalgic. A gum that made the world feel smaller, kinder. Number 18, Ration Chocolate Squares. This was not candy. This was survival. Sold during times when sugar was restricted, these dense, dark squares packed calories and could last months. Often sent in care packages or carried by workers, they weren't sweet, they were efficient. They were a lifeline when other treats were impossible to find. And for those who tasted them, they were a reminder, even small comforts mattered. Number 17, Salted Nut Rolls. This was energy disguised as indulgence. Caramel and peanuts rolled into a dense, sticky log. It could replace a small meal, last through a long train ride, and still taste incredible. Made popular in Pennsylvania, it was a staple in workers' pockets, miners' lunches, and soldiers' rations. The crunch, the sweetness, the salt. It was happiness in one bite. Number 16, Jujubes. This was candy people made when fun was more important than flavor. Small, chewy, fruity drops that came in tiny, vibrant boxes. Cheap, portable, long-lasting, and beloved for their playful colors. From New York to Chicago, children would trade flavors like treasures. And when you opened a box, it wasn't just candy, it was anticipation, excitement, and delight. Number 15, Cracker Jack Boxes. This was the meal people made when games were the highlight of life. Popcorn coated in caramel, mixed with peanuts, and packaged in a cardboard box with a surprise toy inside. Cheap, portable, and infinitely fun. It was more than a snack, it was a reward for patience, a symbol of leisure, and a taste that made weekends magical. For kids, it wasn't just food, it was memory. This is where things get personal. Think about it. Every snack here was made to fill gaps, not just in stomachs, but in life. A treat that could calm a crying child, a candy that stretched a family's grocery budget, a gum that reminded a worker of home. These are stories of survival wrapped in sugar, chocolate, and caramel. Number 14, Chico Stick. Number 14, Chico Stick. This was the candy people craved when peanut butter and coconut collided. Crunchy, sweet, salty, with that irresistible coconut stickiness. Cheap, long-lasting, and perfect for a snack drawer. First appearing in the 1950s, it was a novelty that became comfort food. And every bite, it reminded people that even small pleasures mattered. Number 13, Lemon Drops. This was candy people reached for when sourness was adventure. Hard, tangy, long-lasting, perfect to suck on for hours. Sold in tins, bags, and jars, it was portable, practical, and just a little daring. For kids on the street or adults at work, it was a tiny thrill. And the sharp, sweet taste, it lingered in memory long after the candy was gone. Number 12, Wax Bottles with Syrup. This was number 12 for a reason. It was a miracle of cheap ingenuity. Tiny wax bottles filled with flavored syrup. Kids would bite, chew, and suck the liquid inside. It was sticky, messy, joyful. From New England to California, these bottles were everywhere, and for children, they were magic. It wasn't just candy, it was an experience. Number 11, Mary Jane peanut butter candies. This was comfort in a wrapper. Soft, sweet peanut butter surrounded by molasses-flavored taffy. Cheap, filling, and utterly nostalgic. Sold in corner stores nationwide, every bite reminded families of home kitchens, simple joys, and the holidays they longed for.
Number 10, Bonkers fruit candy. This was candy people chased when fruit flavors were rare. Chewy, tangy, with bright colors and intense sweetness. It could satisfy a craving for something fun and alive in a world that felt monotonous after hard work and long days. A snack that brought energy, laughter, and joy. Number 9, Tootsie Rolls. This was survival disguised as chocolate. Chewy, long-lasting, and cheap. Perfect for workers, soldiers, and kids alike. They weren't just sweet, they were practical, portable, and beloved. And when someone popped one in their mouth, it wasn't just candy, it was familiarity. Number 8, Bit of Honey. This was candy people made when honey and almonds came together in sticky perfection. Long-lasting, filling, and a perfect snack for the pocket or lunchbox. From the Midwest to the East Coast, children and adults savored each bite. It was more than sweetness, it was resilience. Number 7, Neapolitan ice cream bars. This was a frozen escape. Stripes of chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry on a stick. Cheap, sweet, and portable if you had ice boxes or small freezers. It brought summer to any backyard and joy to children who had never traveled far. Number 6, Wax fruit candy. This was art disguised as food. Tiny, colorful fruits made of sugar and wax, shaped perfectly to mimic nature. They weren't always eaten, but when they were, it was playful and fun. It reminded people that beauty could be temporary, but joy could last forever. Number 5, Atomic Fireballs. This was candy people feared and loved at the same time. Hard, spicy cinnamon balls that could make your mouth tingle, your eyes water, and your heart race. Cheap, shocking, unforgettable. First made in the 1950s, these were the daredevil candies of the era, and for every child brave enough to try one, it was a rite of passage. Number 4, Sugar Babies. This was comfort, simple and sweet. Chewy caramel candies that lasted forever in your mouth. Sold everywhere, loved by everyone. They were small, practical moments of joy. A treat that could calm nerves, fill stomachs, or just make life sweeter. Number 3, Mallow Cups. This was indulgence you could hold. Chocolate cups filled with marshmallow and coconut cream. Expensive for a moment, but worth every bite. For a kid, it wasn't candy, it was treasure. And for families scraping by, it was a luxury they could sneak into a Saturday afternoon. Number 2, Clark Bar. This was ingenuity in a wrapper. Peanut butter, toffee, and chocolate combined into a long-lasting, crunchy, delightful snack. Sold nationally, it was a childhood staple. And the taste? Sweet, buttery, comforting. Number 1, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. This was the crown jewel. Chocolate and peanut butter, the perfect combination. It was cheap enough to be everyday magic, long enough to share, and simple enough to create a smile. From kitchens to classrooms, it defined 1950s snacking in America. And it wasn't just candy, it was memory, joy, and survival, all in one perfect bite. Think about it. Every single one of these snacks tells a story, not just about sugar, but about survival, hope, innovation, and humanity. About kids finding joy in small things, families stretching pennies, companies daring to invent, and a nation hungry for comfort after war and hardship. So here's the challenge. Try to find one of these this week. Taste history. Imagine a street corner in 1955. Kids laughing, parents smiling, a tiny candy bringing a moment of joy in a tough world. And comment below, which one shocked you the most? Which one would you have begged for as a kid? Because in the end, these snacks are gone, but the stories, the survival, the joy, they're still here.